Hello, everyone. This is Melinda Russell with the Women's Motorsports Network podcast. And I have a little bit of a different background today, and I'm going to just share a little bit what Mara and I have gone through. Um, my internet at home was spotty because we're having a pre storm. The wind is kicking up, and we're supposed to have a really bad storm tonight. So I actually came into Kalamazoo today, and I'm sitting in the lobby of a hotel that I'm not staying at, but they're very nice and let me sit here to record this. So, Mara, I want to welcome you to the show, and I want you to start by sharing a little bit about yourself.
Thank you so much for having me today. My name's Mara Henderson, and I grew up racing. I'm actually a third generation woman driver in my family. So it started off with grandma and grandpa, came down to my parents, aunts, uncles, cousins. It was a whole family event. I have been out of the four-wheel drive sand drags for quite some time. And that drove me to go to the University of Northwestern Ohio, where I got 2 degrees in auto and high performance technology. And then I also have my bachelor's in business. I did quite some time out in the industry and then came back home to UNOH, as I like to say. And I've been working Northern and Western Michigan admissions for helping students find their path in the automotive world. I originally am from Lake Orion, Michigan. Go Dragons. That's where I went to school and grew up. And then now I have moved up towards Higgins Lake by Roscommon, Michigan, in order to pursue my career here at UNOH being an admissions representative.
Okay, so you're up north.
I am north, yes, but Kalamazoo, I teach students from Kalamazoo at the career centers down there.
Oh, awesome. Awesome. So they're building a new career center. Is that the one you're speaking of?
I know they're building a diesel and a new auto building at Allegan Career Center, which is very
Okay.
exciting.
Because right near Sprinkle Road and I-94, which is where I get off to go home, they've been working on a huge building, and I think they put a sign up out front that says Career Connect or something. So I don't know what that is, but I'm going to check it out for sure.
It might be.
Might be. That would be very cool. So, Mara, tell me, how did you get interested in motorsports? And then tell me your story, and then how did you end up at UNOH?
So really just being born, I was literally born into a family of race car drivers. And that is where I learned so much of my family is not blood relatives because racing family is a big thing.
Mm-hmm.
And that's something I see my students learn about every day. And so being born third generation woman driver is very rare. You don't see that many women drivers out there in the industry. And then to be a third generation is quite an honor. I've definitely always looked up to my grandma. She has always been the biggest support system, her and my grandpa, in my life. And I'm still with my grandma today, and she's in the next room. She's never listened to a podcast before, so she is pretty excited that her first one is going to be of her granddaughter. So that's how I started into racing. My dad owned a machine shop, so all the men in my family were mechanics. And I just knew when I was growing up, I was a competitive cheerleader, I was a race car driver, and I wanted to pursue racing on a more professional path. And then I also wanted to be a lawyer. And the UNOH rep came into my school. I saw the racetrack and I knew that that's where I needed to exist. And I made the right decision going to UNOH.